defense. Lead pass.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Do not do him like that! What are you doing?
It's high. The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why.
Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
What going now? What it do? Oh, I wasn't planning on releasing this video so soon, but with the news that broke as of the recording date of this video, that being September 26, 2024, Derrick Rose has officially retired from the NBA, just under a week after being waived by his last team, the Memphis Grizzlies. Listen, I don't want this to be a long intro, but I gotta let it be known that this is my all-time favorite NBA player. He and Melo, the two of them were the reasons why I even started taking basketball seriously. And before you ask, my favorite team is the Boston Celtics. I know. Kill me and crucify me all you want. Yes, Derrick Rose, the man that solidified basketball for me. And it's only right that I tell his story the only way that I could and show you why for me and a large chunk of the folks in my generation, he is the biggest what if in NBA history. Now, Derrick Martell Rose was born the last of four in the south side of Chicago in 1988. Now, if you know anything about Chicago south side, especially in the 1980s and 90s, then you know growing up in an environment of that nature was dangerous to the development of any impressionable youth. Luckily for Derrick, his older brothers were all talented ball players themselves, and to the joy of their mother, they shielded their brother from the negative influences and started him on his path to greatness. And what do you know? It was discovered that he inherited those genes as well. This built up his reputation throughout the Windy City. He would enter high school in 2003 and was one of the hottest tickets for collegiate scouts. This, however, would not stop his varsity coach from restricting his play as a freshman due to a long-standing tradition, a rule that didn't break young Derrick's confidence, as he would go on to average 18 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds that same year. By the time he would finish high school, his senior numbers were 25 points, 9 assists, 8 boards, and 3 steals, while being ranked in the top 5 of Sports Illustrated's college prospects list. After graduating high school, he'd accept a scholarship and enter college through the University of Memphis, playing under renowned coach John Calipari. Rose's stock would continue to rise in his 1 year there, averaging 15, 5, and 5, taking his team all the way to the NCAA championship game.
And you see what he does? He goes over on Anderson. So they're going to say, Anderson, show me you can be a 25-point-per-game scorer. Rose, a whistle, and a basket.
Rose would play his heart out, but Memphis would still fall to the Jayhawks in overtime. With this game and the buzz behind his season, Rose would declare for the 08 draft. But there was one minor issue, and, well, it's not really that minor. A grading issue would emerge shortly before the draft, where the University of Memphis was accused of knowing of Rose forging his grades for the SATs by having someone else take them on his behalf, a controversy that would declare the Tigers' season null. This motion was filed with the intention of making him ineligible for the draft and had the chance of derailing his entire career before it even got the chance to start. But as we know, this didn't happen.
Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
Now, I know getting selected by his hometown team must have been surreal, but the Bulls in 2008 were 10 years removed from the glory days of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, leading them to 6 finals and 6 championships. This was a team that was struggling for relevance in an increasingly weaker Eastern Conference. Derrick had a large task to fulfill. And, well.
Visited his post up with Jackson, and Rose pokes one in over Ben 3 straight times now. Ben's too small to guard him. Rose goes to work, fires again.
And like a duck to water, Rose would make his name instantly, earning Rookie of the Month honors in November and December, being selected for the Rookie Challenge game, and won the Skills Challenge all of the All-Star weekend, led the Bulls from missing the playoffs the previous year to a 41-41 playoff team. Rose would conclude the regular season as the Rookie of the Year, entering the playoffs on a hot streak. Real hot. Beating the defending champions, my Boston Celtics, in the first round, the Bulls and Rose had a tall task to fulfill. They tried their best, taking the defending champs to 7 games, but ultimately they fell short. Rose would make his playoff debut scoring 36 points, tying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for the most points in a playoff debut for a rookie, and eventually averaged 19 points across the entire series. The following season would start off with a sign of a trend that would haunt him for the rest of his career. An ankle injury kept him relatively quiet throughout the start of season 2, but by the new year, he had fully regained his momentum, eventually getting selected to his first All-Star game. While Rose would make the leap, the Bulls remained at the same level, entering the playoffs once again at 41-41. This time, however, they succumbed to the Cavs in 5, 2 years into his career, and Rose was already living up to the hype. But the next season was something nobody saw coming. After having an explosive start to his 3rd year, Derrick would do a post-game interview where he would give a glimpse to what the end of the season would look like for him.
The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why.
They've got to play fast, and that's fast. There's fast. Joe King, Rose, Bogan, the one. Rose to his left, goes right.
And that he did, ending the season with an All-Star selection, being the 6th man to accumulate 2,000 points and 600 assists in the season, while leading the Bulls to their first 6-win season since the Dynasty days, which was a 29-game improvement, by the way. D. Rose was declared the association's youngest MVP at just the age of 22, beating out Wes Unseld, who won it, wrongfully mind you, at 23 in his rookie year. Just a sidebar though, but as a 22-23-year-old, seeing this here kind of making me want to accomplish something, you know? Feeling motivated. Maybe this video here could pay off all my hard work and blow up. You know, get like 1,000 views and so forth and higher. I don't know, you know. We can see. Anyways, the Bulls, led by Rose and Joakim Noah, would run through the Eastern Conference, making a mess of everybody until they were matched up against LeBron and his Miami Heatos. Though he put up a good fight, they fell in 5, which was a good indicator of what the future had in store for them. Rose and the Bulls will remain as conference contenders going into 2012, ending the year 5th and 16 due to the NBA's lockout shortened season. Rose would be hampered by injuries throughout the year, but that was null come playoff time. Round 1 against the Sixers, and the Bulls are up 12. Yeah, man, they got this.
You bypass the harder team in Miami. Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding on to it.
And so begins the era of pain. Rose would tear his ACL in the drive to the basket. It would be the first hole in his gas tank, beginning the slow and painful decline of a once promising talent. You know what the saddest part of all this was? Is that Derrick Rose had given his body day in and day out, all to bring the Bulls back to relevance. He did it for his city, his people, and when his body gave up and he decided it was best to sit out the following season, fans would shit on this man. Like, damn, bro. And most of y'all that's sad now seeing him retire want his bandwagon back then too. I know it. Don't think I know. Rose, like I said, sat out 2013. He would return the following season, showing glimpses of his former self. His shooting and finishing were obviously hampered, but it was good seeing him out there again. Then, because we can't get nice things, he would tear his meniscus in November and effectively end his season. We thought it was the end, but in the following season, that perseverance I spoke about came back. Derrick will require surgery year-round, but will fight through it and play 51 games in the season. Taking the Bulls back to the playoffs alongside a young Jimmy Butler and a longtime teammate Joakim Noah, the Bulls would eventually match up in the conference finals once again against LeBron, who was now back in Cleveland. With the series tied 1 game each, Rose gave us one of his last iconic moments in his career.
Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
Yes, the ecstasy was high. Bulls are back. Nah, they lost the series. It seems like LeBron was just there hindering the success of this team by any means, eh? Anyways, so the Bulls are most definitely back in action though. And Derrick, while not being the same like he was before, surely is getting back to the groove of where he needs to be. I mean, we really got a win in... what? Why is he crying? Who is he talking to? What's going on?
You lying.
You know, there's many different reasons as to why D-Rose suffered such a terrible decline. The injuries, of course, add up over time, and the dominance of the Heat will all play a factor. But I think that it was this moment right here that severely broke his confidence. His hometown organization traded him away. He would get shipped off to the Knicks, and I initially, I was excited for this because these were my two favorite players, Carmelo Anthony and Derrick Rose, on one team. Yeah, that was a big thing for me back then. But that would quickly evaporate. Because listen, the less I talk about the New York days, the Cleveland days, the Detroit Piston days, is the better. So instead, I'll just skip straight to his Minnesota run. Many is where Derrick found his footing as a bench player, averaging 18 points in his second and final season there. But the biggest story was what happened on 4th of July, 2018. In a game versus the Jazz that would go down to the wire, Rose would put on a show, shooting 19 from 31 and ending the game with a block and 50 points. Yes, 50 points. I remember seeing this when it happened, and man, that was a moment, bro. You know what? Let him tell you himself.
Everything, man. I worked my ass off, bro.
Derrick would eventually spend the majority of his final years in the league as the six-man/vet of the Knicks, mentoring young talents along the way. Unfortunately, the Knicks got the luck of a bleeding man in the shark-infested water, so year after year their title contending hopes would be crushed, effectively meaning no ring for Rose. Derrick would, through his injuries, his talents, good public image, and, just being an all-around likable guy, become the NBA's most beloved player. In a league where people don't say it, it was looked as that this man deserved that ring, or at least a shot at it. So when we all heard that he became a free agent, many of us thought he would sign to a contender. I don't know, maybe the Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets, or even the Dallas Mavericks. No, he would sign to the Grizzlies, a team that was a year before in the playoffs picture, but was now reduced to mediocrity. And you know what the worst part about this was? Both he and Ja Morant, the man who many people call his successor, would miss the majority of the season. Fans were begging their franchises, especially the Chicago Bulls, to trade for Rose. If he wasn't going to get the chance to get his ring, at least let him ride out his career in his hometown. And how joyous we all became when we heard that he got waived. Yes, it's time. Somebody, anybody, especially the Boston Celtics, please, somebody, please save this man. What's going on here? And here we are, September of 2024. After 15 years in the NBA, years of captivating fans, giving fans the hope that anybody can overcome travesties, revitalizing the point guard role prior to a certain someone who would do it years later, reanimating the corpse of the Chicago Bulls, if ever so briefly, and being the only man that could truly make the NBA community come together and root for one man's success just by being himself. Derrick Rose retires from professional basketball. A father and newly wedded man with many different ventures under his belt, I don't know what's next for the Windy City Assassin, but D, On behalf of the rest of the fan base, I just want to say personally, thank you, bro. Enjoy your retirement. One love.
They've got to pick up the pace here in transition. Derrick Rose with the finish.
James